Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another week of Red Wolves Live. I'm Kamenechev.
And I'm Blake Gwen. The Red Wolves win 68-35 over New Mexico State.
With the win, A-State finishes the regular season 7-5 and 5-3 in Sun Belt play. We'll talk more about the bowl chances later in the show, but for now, let's check out the highlights. It was senior day for 14 players, including Q Lee and Sterling Young. Opening Red Wolves drive, and Freddie would find Michael Gordon, and when he's in the open field, he's just tough to bring down. Look at this juke right here, and how about another? Gordon's moves and speed lead him to the end zone for a 45-yard touchdown, 7-0 A-State. Late in the first quarter, Freddie's picked off by Clint Bernard. He'd go in for the pick six, but wait a minute. There was a penalty called after the interception. New Mexico State keeps the ball, but not the points. So they switch sides to start the second quarter, and Artez Brown makes the Aggies pay for this with a leaping interception. And look at this. He knows where the camera is. How about a salute? I like that.
It was salute, no Blakey.
That's right. So A-State starts on its own 2-yard line. Freddie had a long run, and then Gordon goes one way and the other. Look at these moves. The 35-yard touchdown makes it 13-7 after the missed PAT. So a two-play, 98-yard drive in 31 seconds for the Red Wolves. But New Mexico State comes back later in the quarter. Larry Rose the third, the 80-yard touchdown, a one-play, 80-yard drive in 13 seconds. 14-13 Aggies. A-State would get a big return and then a couple big plays, and then Freddie finds the end zone with a 14-yard rushing touchdown. So that was a three-play drive in just 38 seconds. 2014 Red Wolves. Next New Mexico State drive, you guessed it. The first offensive play, and Tyler Rogers finds Gregory Hogan for a 75-yard touchdown. Look at Gregory go. So that was an 11-second drive lasting just one play. Wow.
Gosh.
The Red Wolves get it back, and finally a long drive, 11 plays, 76 yards. Look at that flip. Freddie to Gordon. He goes in for a 19-yard rushing touchdown, 27-21 Red Wolves. Later, it's Gordon again. Look at this long run as he goes into the secondary and shows his speed. A 72-yard touchdown run, right? Well, wrong. That looked like his fourth touchdown of the half, but it's called back for a penalty. So Gordon settles with 3 first-half touchdowns, but don't worry, he has another later. A-State led 27-21 at the half.
The second half was a good half for A-State, especially Blaze Taylor, but it was not a good half for this dude right here because he just gets leveled by Mr. Taylor, lays the smack down on the ball carrier. Big stop for the Red Wolves defense. Ensuing Red Wolves possession, Knighton going to hit Trez Houston, and he gets the yak, the yards after the catch, all the way in. The fans with the little clappers. And it's just an exciting thing to be had by all. Okay, so that would set up this. And Common mentioned the Gordon score. He would have another one later. And here it is, right here. That's 34-21 Red Wolves. Next, they take possession. Knighton this time. He says, you know what, I've handed it off to you enough today, Mike. We're going to go up 41-21 on my legs. So he did just that. All right, so the Aggies trying to respond, and they've got the possession right after that. Watch Q Lee here. This is what we've all described as a suplex. No
Wow.
way, dude. Wow. Unbelievable. But a few plays later, I guess it made them mad because they're going to go ahead and just score right there. Cuts the Red Wolves lead down to 41-28. But no stopping A-State. Knighton hits DeJean Pascal on the screen, and a very successful screen. In fact, good blocking on that play. Walks the tightrope into the red zone. A few plays later, Kenny Raines, a senior, final game at Centennial Bank Stadium. How apropos. He's going to make the catch. Just waltzes in. 48-28. Red Wolves would mount another drive, though later, right after Mr. Raines was finished. This time first and goal. Knighton, right there, first and goal. All right, so then Brandon Biner, guy who hadn't seen a whole lot of time this year, he's going to get the call late in the game with the score running up. 7-yard carry for the score. Red Wolves go up 54-28. They trade a couple more scores at the end, but in the end of the day, they win their final game of the regular season. Final score, you see Trooper Taylor, he's a happy man. Happy man. 68-35 is the final.
The A-State offense broke a Sun Belt record with, get this, 764 total yards. 469 of those yards were on the ground. Michael Gordon, Freddie Knighton, and Johnston White all had more than 100 rush yards.
Arkansas State averaged 10.5 yards per play, which is a school record against an FBS opponent.
For the season, the Red Wolves have racked up 5,726 yards. That's the third most in program history. The 2012 Red Wolves had 6,067 yards.
See, we brought the clapper onto the desk.
They're going to regret getting you that clapper.
They gave it to me, marketing people, and it was good marketing. All right, so you've seen the highlights, you've seen the stats, you've heard the clapper. Coming up on Red Wolves Live, you're going to hear from Blake Anderson on the big win. You're getting the clapper next, Colin.
All right.
Red Wolves Live, sponsored by George Kell Chevrolet Buick GMC in Newport, Arkansas State University.
Welcome back to Red Wolves Live. A big win for the Red Wolves, all on senior day, and I got this clapper back from Blake.
Yes, yeah, they gave those out of the game tonight, and they gave us one, and we're just having way too much fun. So now,
way too much fun.
Common has the clapper right now, so there's no real way to put it into words, though. The senior class, they've been through so much, really, the past 4 years with all the coaches. Here's Blake Anderson, Q-Lee, after today's game.
Obviously proud of the outcome. This whole week has been built around senior class, and just trying our best to finish up the right way, celebrate that group of guys that have been through, honestly, through more than any senior class probably in the history of the sport. And we had a lot of time really this week to talk about that. And I thought the kids did a great job. We did not play perfect in any phase really. We had way too many penalties on offense and gave up explosive plays on defense, and even had a couple mishaps on special teams. But thought the kids just continued to play hard, and attitudes were great all week. Practices were wonderful, and smiles and laughing and having a great time on the sideline, which is really what I challenged them to do, to have fun playing.
It was just like, at first it was like another game. I tried not to think about it being senior night, but once the game got over and, we talked on the sideline during the game and stuff, I mean, just the fact that we finally realized that it was our last game at Centennial Bank Stadium. I mean, it's a joy just to play with these players and in front of the fan base. I mean, just a joy just to have those guys out there cheering for us.
He's really awesome, Blake. He really is. I mean, it's a joy for the fans to see him. It's sad we won't see him anymore at Centennial Bank Stadium.
Gonna miss guys like Q-Lee around his personality, especially.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, we'll stay with us. We'll be right back.
And ask the kitchen and bath expert.
Red Wolves Live, sponsored by George Kell Chevrolet Buick GMC in Newport, Arkansas State University, and Terrell Seeds.
Welcome back to Red Wolves Live. Again, Arkansas State beats New Mexico State 68-35. The Red Wolves go to 7-5 and 5-3 in Sun Belt play. Blake, do you think they deserve to make a bowl? Will they make a bowl, or what bowl will they make? Let's just talk about bowls.
Okay, let's talk about bowls. I have my projections ready to go. I've been thinking about it all night, and I've got my projections ready to go for the Sun Belt Conference after the season's over.
Let's hear it.
Okay, my projection, I'm going to go these in order, and my Arkansas State Bowl is going to be last for the tension. All right. Okay. The obvious one of the day and the dub bowl of the day is Louisiana Lafayette going to the New Orleans Bowl. They're going to go. I don't see them going anywhere else. That's their bowl. That's their home bowl. I think they go there for the 4th straight year. I've got in the GoDaddy Bowl, South Alabama.
Oh.
Okay, now this one could go a couple of different ways.
Okay.
But I really like the GoDaddy Bowl taking their home team, South Alabama, in that bowl, and letting them, since they're GoDaddy Bowl taking their home team, South Alabama, in that bowl, and letting them, since they're in bowl eligible this year, let them go ahead and take them. Okay. Then my third team, I've got Arkansas State going to the Camellia Bowl.
Okay.
So that's what I've got. A-State, I've got them in a bowl going to the Camellia Bowl because I don't see the GoDaddy or Arkansas State liking that bowl for the 4th straight year. And South Alabama being bowl eligible could be the reason why they switched that one off. So I got South Al and the GoDaddy, New Orleans Bowl taking ULL, and the Camellia Bowl taking Arkansas State.
Okay. I could see those. Again, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you what I think should happen. I think that obviously ULL should go to the New Orleans Bowl. We're all on the same page. They're first in the Sun Belt. They got the fans there. But I think that Texas State deserves to be in a bowl. And I think, you look at Texas State, they're 7-5. South Alabama is 6-6. Arkansas State 7-5. Arkansas State, Texas State 5-3 in league play. One more win total compared to South Al. A-State beat up on South Al. But I think you can't leave Texas State out there, though, because you look at Texas State. They were 7-5. They beat Arkansas State head-to-head.
Right.
They finished 5-3. So I think if we're doing in the section of what bowl do you deserve to go to?
Yeah, you've got that one nailed down.
I think you've got Texas State. You're going to tell those guys that they had a better record than South Al, had as good of a record as A-State, and they don't go bowling. And that's what I think. You might end up being right, but for me, I can't stand how political these bowls get. I get that they want to make money. I get that, they want to have these draws, the fans that go there. But to me, the way they should do it is line them up, who has the best records. And I think A-State is really lucky that Georgia Southern and App State in their first year in the conference are not bowl eligible. They can't go to a bowl. Otherwise, They're tied for 4th right now in the Sun Belt, I believe,
Right.
and we wouldn't even be having this discussion. So thankfully, App State and Georgia Southern are not bowl eligible.
I think you're right. It should be the order of operations straight down the list, and you're a fantastic guy. You are. But are you going to say that if it came down to it, and you're in a room with the GoDaddy Bowl, the Camellia Bowl, the Sun Belt Conference, that Mobile's going to choose to let their own team not go to a bowl?
No, and again, I didn't disagree. You're probably right. I'm just telling you that I don't think that should happen.
I don't either. I don't either. Texas State should be a bowl team.
Right.
Absolutely, 110%. But the reason why I projected South Alabama to go to the GoDaddy Bowl was because I had a hard time seeing Alabama. And those two could flip-flop. It could be Arkansas State. But I have a hard time seeing the state of Alabama letting South Alabama get out of here without a bowl this year.
Right.
And unfortunately, Texas State could get left out. You know, Western Kentucky got left out last season in a very similar circumstance.
Well, we're going to certainly keep you updated. I think it's going to be really fun to
this
see what's going to happen.
This fight will continue behind the scenes.
Oh, absolutely. We're just getting started. We've got a long night ahead. But you'll hear more from the Pack tomorrow night on the Blake Anderson Show. It's produced right here in the KIT studios. This coach will break down the New Mexico State game. The Blake Anderson Show is tomorrow at 10:35. Right after Region 8 News at 10. Once again, A-State beats New Mexico State 68-35. The Red Wolves finished 7-5 and 5-3 in Sun Belt play. Again, we'll keep you updated on the bowl situations. For now, though, we leave you with the montage from some of the seniors.
Yes.